What's wrong? I saw the bat signal and came immediately.
Oh, thank goodness. Batman, you came. Gotham is in serious trouble.
Is it Harley Quinn? The Joker? Has the MCU ran us out of business?
No, if I don't learn my clarinet part in time, Gotham will explode.
This seems like some really lazy screenwriting. Whatever. I'm in.
Oh boy, I knew you'd help, Batman. But wait, do you even know how to play the clarinet?
Alfred taught me how to play the clarinet in between ab workouts. I think I can help you out.
Awesome sauce. So what do I do?
Alright, the first step to learning a piece of music is to look at the key signature and make any necessary accidental markings. When learning something new, it's easy to forget about the key signature, and unmarked accidentals can lead to you learning the music incorrectly. And don't forget that written in accidentals carry through the measure.
Okie dokie, Batman. Sounds good. People who skip this step seem really dumb.
You're darn right, kid. Okay, second, you gotta count through the piece and make sure that you have all of the rhythms down rock solid. Don't forget to also finger through the notes while counting. Never do this step at full speed when learning something tricky. I personally like to count at half speed when looking at something for the first time.
But what if I don't know how to count a rhythm?
Well, you can always ask one of your fantastic section or service leaders for help if you can't figure out a rhythm. But I encourage you to figure it out on your own. For example, look at this rhythm. This is a dotted eighth note, and it isn't a common rhythm. Now, like a dotted quarter note, you know that it has the value of an eighth note and half an eighth note. Using some simple math, you can figure out that each beat is 3/16 notes long, and you can label where the notes land in the measure. In this instance, it would land on the one, and E.
Sick. You can count on me learning my rhythms by counting and fingering at a slower tempo. So what's next?
Now that you know how the piece goes rhythmically, all you have to do is add notes and other things like dynamics. It's very important to start slow and make sure everything is perfect before starting to speed up. Like the last step, I'd recommend starting at about half speed, even if it feels ridiculously slow. Once you can play the piece perfectly at that tempo, speed it up about 5 clicks. You just rinse and repeat that cycle until you hit full speed. Remember to also split up this step to different parts of the piece. Some parts might be slower and don't need the tedious practice that more difficult technique sections require.
Wow. Thanks for all the help, Batman. My only problem is just kind of seems so overwhelming to do all this at once.
That's why you don't have to. Learning a piece is not a day's work, and you can split up these steps across multiple days. I don't try and capture all the criminals in Gotham all at once, do I?
But Batman, you've been on the job for a century, and it doesn't look like you've caught anyone.
Anyways, it's very important that you do not skip any of these steps, and make sure to do them all thoroughly. Do not move on to another step before you have completed the previous one.
Alright, can you remind me one last time? What are the steps?
First, you gotta mark your music and recognize the key signature. After that, your second step is to count through the entire piece, starting at a slow tempo, somewhere around half speed, while fingering. Once you can count and finger all of the rhythms in the piece at a slowed down tempo, you can move on to the last step, which is just speeding it up. Start very slow, and every time you play it well, you can speed it up by 5 clicks, but don't speed it up unless you play it perfectly. You gotta keep doing this until you finally hit your full speed.
Wow, Batman, you're awesome. With your advice, now I can play my clarinet part.